What's going on, Dodgers fans? Welcome back to Dodgers HQ. And man, I was hoping we'd be sitting here talking about a series win today. Instead, we're talking about a 12-1 beatdown. The Dodgers lose their second straight game to Baltimore. Officially, they dropped the series, and for the first time in over a month, we're talking about a Dodgers losing streak. We've got a lot to get into. We're breaking down what went wrong today, talk about whether this is actually something to be concerned about, or just one of those ugly baseball weekends. We'll talk about Shohei's first Father's Day with his new son, Tommy Edman's return, the current injury situation, the Walker Buehler situation because apparently he still can't keep our name out of his mouth. We'll preview the Twins series, and of course, we'll finish things off with another round of Dodgers Guess Who. So grab a drink, sit back, and let's talk Dodgers baseball. Alright, let's start with the obvious. That was ugly. The Orioles came to Dodger Stadium and punched the Dodgers in the mouth all weekend, and today they unloaded the entire clip. 12-1 is crazy. And that frustrating part isn't even the score, it's how early the game felt over. You know those games where by the fourth inning you're already looking ahead to tomorrow? And that's what it felt like today. Baltimore was hitting everything. Every time it felt like the Dodgers might settle things down, somebody else came up and delivered another big hit. Meanwhile, the Dodgers' offense looked completely asleep for the last 2 days. And honestly, that's been my biggest concern over the last couple games. The pitching hasn't been perfect, but the offense has been way too quiet. When you've got Shohei, Mookie, Freddie, Will when he comes back, Pages, Tommy Edmonds now back, there is no reason this lineup should look this lifeless for multiple games in a row. And before anybody starts panicking, no, the season isn't over. We're just not used to losing. We are very, very spoiled. The Dodgers are still one of the best teams in baseball. The fans are allowed to be annoyed when a team this talented gets embarrassed at home. I am. That's fair. It's a fair feeling. Now let's give Baltimore some credit, because as much as it pains me to do it, they earned the series. They came into Dodger Stadium, they played the better baseball. Simple as that. After the game, Orioles manager Craig Albernez said, "They have a lot of great players over there, well managed and coached. And it's tough to play in Dodger Stadium, and our boys did a great job of coming out and competing. That's what we can show. We can show that we can play with anyone. Now the real task is being consistent." Okay, well, the first part of that quote is spot on. You absolutely deserve your flowers. Winning a series at Dodger Stadium isn't easy. It's one of the toughest places in baseball to win. This Dodgers roster is loaded, so yeah, celebrate it. Be happy your team earned it. But let's show down a little bit. Show it down. Because some Oriole fans are acting like they just won the World Series. Guys, you're still fourth place in your division, and you have the second hardest division in baseball. You didn't clinch anything. You didn't win a playoff series. You didn't do anything. You won a June series. Congratulations. Now go do it again. Because that's hard part. And not do it again and count the you're probably gonna win against the Angels. It's the Angels. They're not really good. But do it again against the team that matters. Do it again against the Toronto Blue Jays. Do it again against the Yankees. Do it again. You can't say you beat the Dodgers and you're gonna start going into October. This is your ticket to October because you beat the World Series champs. Every team can get hot for a weekend. Bad teams beat good teams all the time in baseball. What separates contenders from pretenders is consistency. That's what Craig's last sentence is actually the most important thing he said. The real task is being consistent. Exactly. Let's see what happens next. Because right now, the Orioles are still looking up in the standings. Now let's bring this conversation back to the Dodgers, because here's what frustrates me. The Dodgers have actually done a really good job this year against teams that matter. When they've played contenders, for the most part, they've shown up. They won big series. They've beaten quality opponents, but then every now and then they drop a series like this and leave everybody scratching their heads. You can't keep doing that. I know baseball isn't football. I know anybody can beat anybody, but championship teams take care of business. And when you're trying to win another World Series, these are the series that drive you crazy, because these are games that should be helping you create separation. Instead, you're letting teams hang around. Again, I'm not saying Baltimore is terrible, but if we're being honest, when October rolls around, most people aren't expecting the Orioles to be playing meaningful baseball. The only orange we'll be seeing in October is Halloween pumpkins. Let's just call it what it is, Twins. I want the Dodgers beating the teams they should beat, plain and simple. Get up, do what you gotta do. You do what you gotta get paid to do. Because if I was getting paid a fraction of what these minor leaguers were being paid to do, I am going to be trying my absolute hardest. And sometimes I know they're trying their hardest, but sometimes it seems like they just don't care in those days. Now, one piece of good news, Tommy Edman was back this series, and I don't think people realize how important that's going to be. Everybody talks about Shohei, Mookie, Freddie. Tommy isn't flashy, but he makes everything work. He's one of those players you don't fully appreciate until he's gone. The defense gets better, the lineup gets deeper, the versatility gets better, the baseball IQ is elite, and if he stays healthy, I think the lineup becomes a nightmare again very quickly. The timing couldn't be better either because right now the Dodgers need a spark. They need somebody that can help stabilize things, especially in the infield. Tommy has always been that kind of player. Let's talk about Shohei because yesterday was Father's Day. And honestly, that's pretty cool. Just a few days ago, Shohei and Mamiko welcomed their baby boy into the world. Then Shohei immediately comes back and starts hitting bombs. Because apparently that's just what Shohei does. And now there's 3 times the Shohei power in this world. Could you imagine being that kid? Your dad is Shohei Ohtani. Baseball's gonna be in trouble 20 years from now. But seriously, congratulations to Shohei and his family. You love seeing moments like that, and honestly, maybe we need a little more dad strength Otani over the next couple games. It keeps him motivated. Now let's talk about injuries, because injuries are still probably the biggest reason this team isn't operating at full strength. We're still waiting on Teoscar Hernandez. We're still waiting on Kiké Hernandez. The pitching staff is still trying to get healthier, and that's the thing people forget. As good as the Dodgers have been this season, they haven't really been whole. It feels like every week somebody's returning while somebody else gets hurt. So while I'm frustrated about the Orioles series, I'm also trying to remember this team still hasn't shown us its full form. There are reinforcements coming, and that's important. Now we can talk about Bueller. Because apparently Walker can't stop talking about the Dodgers. And look, I appreciate everything Walker did in October 2024. Forever, I'll appreciate it. That run was legendary. Nobody's taking that away from him. But brother, you signed with San Diego. It's over. It's over. You chose the Padres. You put on the brown. You crossed enemy lines. If I was a baseball player and if I was a player for the Dodgers, that that bleeding blue runs in your veins. There are lines you cannot cross, and he crossed enemy lines. At some point, you gotta move on. At some point, you gotta move on. The Dodgers made a business decision, and honestly, they had every right to. Walker only had 16 starts in 2024. There were injury concerns, there were durability concerns, consistency concerns. The Dodgers looked at all of that and decided not to commit long term. That's baseball, it happens. It hurts. You wanna stay, you want a ring, you wanna do it again, you know you can do it again, and we did do it again. But it's baseball, it's a business. What I find funny is people acting like the Dodgers somehow betrayed him. But come on, guys, the Padres signed him, not the Dodgers. He's their pitcher now. At some point, you gotta stop talking about your ex. And yes, there's still a bar. You went from Dodger blue to poo poo brown. Now you gotta sit in your. Let's look ahead because thankfully this Orioles series is over. The Twins are next, and honestly, I think that's exactly what this team needs. Just a quick little reset, fresh opponent, a clean slate. I haven't seen many of these series happen often anyway, so it'll be a fun watch to say the least. But what do I want to see? Number one, better at bats. Way better at bats. The offense has looked way too passive lately. Number two, get runners in. Way too many opponents have been wasted recently. Number three, starting pitching needs to stop putting the team behind early. The Dodgers are at their best when they are playing ahead from ahead, when they're forcing other teams to chase them. The Twins aren't a team you can sleepwalk through. If the Dodgers show up with the same energy they showed up this weekend with, Minnesota can absolutely make life difficult. But if the Dodgers play to their standard, they should win the series, and there's no argument about that. All right, enough serious baseball talk. You know what time it is? It's time for another round of Dodgers. Guess who? Round and round she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows. And today's player is. Well, I'm not going to tell you who the player is, but we got former Dodger player. So, clue number one, this player has been an all star in his career. Clue number two, this player bats left handed and plays the outfield. Clue number three, this player joined the Dodgers looking to revive his career and add veteran depth to the lineup. Let me know in the comments what your guess is, and I'll let you know if you are right or wrong. We'll see how many of you guys know your Dodgers stuff. Who's a real Dodgers fan in here? Who truly bleeds blue? Also, tell me which clue you guessed it on. Did you get it after clue one, clue two, or did you need all three? And don't you dare lie. And with that, I think that's going to do it for today's episode of Dodgers HQ. Tough weekend, tough series, not the result we wanted, but that's baseball. The season's long. See you in the next one.